I didn't start making couple tunes, acting like I was straight and be like, oh, guess what? I'm gay.
I must admit, bro, the speed, I don't know how you fucking do it. Like,
no, that was pretty much my reaction. There's people consistently are reaching out to me with new things. So many people want to work. Like, my collaboration list is overwhelming. Not get lost in like the source and become a whole full-blown narcissist from it, because you kind of need to be a bit narcissistic.
Welcome back to the Not Quite Pod. Today we've got Reptile with us. Reptile, just quickly want to introduce yourself and let everyone know a bit about yourself.
I'm Reptile B, I'm the rap game cutie, the rap game homunculus, your favourite artist, or soon to be your favourite artist. Nice to meet ya. Wagwan.
That has to be one of the highest energy intros we've had, so love that. I love that. First things first, I always ask my guests to provide a bit of context as to what it was like for them on their journey to getting to where they are today. Sort of what they were like growing up, what their journey was like in their field that they know loads about. So would you be able to talk us through that a little bit?
Okay, so obviously I'm acting like I don't know my journey. So basically, yeah, I'm from East London, born and raised there, Jamaican background, obviously Windrush grandchild. Growing up, I was just pretty much just a geek playing PlayStation all the time. I was just gaming, just like hitting that. What changed? I was rapping in school. Just because I realised I was into Grime music. So I was rapping in school. I used to clash kids. I got a bit cocky, and then I lost one battle and I stopped rapping. I was just like, this ain't for me. I don't like losing. I quit.
Love that.
So yeah, piano background, computer science in university, got that degree, doing games tech and stuff like that as well. So I'm a programmer. And then I was like, I can't find a job. This systematic racism and intersectionality is starting to slap me a little bit. So I was like, I'm going to just say, you know what? I'm going to do just like get into the creative arts. Became a dancer, training to be a professional dancer. I was just like, I don't really fancy the options of what the UK dancers had for like the award shows. Like, I won't mock the artists, but I didn't really feel like going on like tour, like with just, for example, Dua Lipa. I love Dua Lipa, but I didn't fancy doing like a 9-month tour with like Dua Lipa and plenty of like gay boys I don't like. I said, let me do like music I like. I said, let me just do my own music, and then became Reptile B. The struggles I've dealt with, standard, innit? Like, just, I'm very nihilistic. I'm in your face with my lyrics. I don't hide. I didn't start making couple tunes, acting like I was straight and be like, oh, guess what? I'm gay. Like, I didn't do no Frank Ocean until you look later. I didn't do no Lil Nas X and just, I didn't do none of that. I just thought, what's the point? So, yeah, from the get-go, everybody knows what I'm about. So, I ended up on viral on a thing called UK Drill What the Fuck, a YouTube like channel where they kind of put like UK rappers up like bits of their music videos where they're saying zesty lyrics or just lyrics where make you be like, oh right, is he gay? Oh, those lyrics are gay. And they put my song up, and that's how I got my first like bit of traction. I was like, you lot are fools, because actually I'm gay. So thanks for the free promo. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, I mean, and ended up, that was my first bit, doing gigs. Obviously, the UK scene is pretty much very stuck in the whole, you have to only rap a certain way, you have to present a certain way. I don't fuck with none of that. I didn't make music to start acting like some other person. So doors have been closed on me for obviously the fact that I'm openly gay and stuff like that. I've had doors closed, or people try to close doors by like jealous other artists. That's what we want to get into, but it's what it is. Obviously, there's mental health struggles. I got diagnosed with ADHD, so that was fun. That's a fun awakening. There's BPD as well that I'm dealing with. I'm an advocate for mental health. Some people want to just be like, No, I'm dealing with that as well. A lot of emotional dysregulation, but that's pretty much what TikTok virality helped me. TikTok virality is putting me in most people's faces. Long story short, I thank TikTok because before then, people would have just been like, my song's popping up, and then someone would be like, yeah, I'm going to put you through for this. And then homophobe that's working as the assistant would be like, nah, we don't do them gating. So it's been a battle, but yeah, I'll say.
Like I'm 90% sure I've got undiagnosed ADHD, so it's all good. I know the feeling really well. You're going to come on to what you brought up just now with the virality of YouTube, of TikTok, because it was one of my questions I wanted to ask you. Is obviously you've had a video hit over 1 million views on TikTok. Now, anyone else that looks at that goes, what the fuck? How the hell has that happened? And what the hell happened next? So, first of all, what was your reaction to a piece of your content and a piece of your music going viral?
I was just looking at my phone being like, my phone's broken because how do we go from 400 to like 4K to like, and I remember refreshing the thing. It was like 4K, 8K, 12. I was like, you know what I mean? Like, I was like, look, I'm even like, not 4K, 8K.
Yeah.
No, I'm not lying. I'm actually not lying. It was like that. It was like 4K, 8K. I was like, what the? And I just kind of just hyper focused on it, like, just in shock, like. And I was like, I don't want to laugh because it stops. I was in shock. No, that was pretty much my reaction.
To be fair, the only time I've had content do well, I was the exact same. I was like, refresh.
Wow. You feel like you're on the lottery.
So what doors have opened for you now that you've sort of been brought into the public eye? People know who you are. I mean, I'm going to hold my hands up. That's how I found out about you. What sort of opportunities have come up from it?
Loads of gigs. I'm getting like other stuff where it's like, just radio shows. I've been just gigging a lot more. Like before it was just like 1-2 people were booking me and stuff like that. Just always like, I'll make sure to call Reptile B. But now it's literally just stuff like this. People consistently are reaching out to me with new things. So many people want to work. Like my collaboration list is overwhelming. I just tell people, I'm always just like, I can't do any more collabs right now. I've got about 10 to get through. Someone's like, I sent you a beat. I'm like, I've got 11 to get through. Stuff like that. But yeah, like realistically, I'm plenty of gigs. I've met like a bunch of like there's rappers that have DM'd me and stuff like that. Like, I know who you are. I think like my biggest thing was like, I'm literally in the process of it. Like I go through my emails each time, like, oh dear, like I've got another bare gigs. I'm grateful, but I need to get like a bit more organized with it because my ADHD brain is used to having this many things thrown at me and stuff like that. So no, it's all good. I mean, at this point, like, when I was just chilling one day and like Katie B coming up to me, just like, oh my god, Katie B, I love you. She's like, oh my god,
wait, what the fuck?
Yeah, but she's like, what the fuck? No, trust. That's what I was like, okay, this is, because before I was just like, yeah, gigs, bit of paper, but a bit do what I like, go home, stuff like that. But I'm telling you, it's just like, well, I've had Zebra Cats follow me on Instagram, stuff like that. There's an American queer rapper that I looked up to from the start. But like I said, yeah, Katie B as well. I was like, Katie B, she's like,
yes,
aren't you that rapper from TikTok?
Wild.
I was like,
no, that is wild.
Yeah.
I don't even even when you say like the people that you looked up to follow you, I don't even know how I'd react if if that shit happened.
A lot of, again, just a lot of shock.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
What was the weird? What's the weirdest opportunity you got from your TikTok going viral?
Weirdest opportunity or weird opportunity? Yeah, it'd be like what? Like someone says coercing me into something. I was thinking, I don't know what kind of, but no. I say the most like outlandish. Imagine like the most outlandish one. I did sign a paper, so I can't go into too much detail on it, just because I signed them NDA forms and stuff like that. Somebody reached out to me just to put me on a show. Potentially put me on the show, and it's one of them reality shows. One of them love and hip hop, I guess, type of. That was one of them. I'd say that's the most unusual. Someone called me, and I was like, I don't know if this we'll think about it, kind of thing, because I was just like,
legit.
There's certain things that I'm not sure of myself need to be shown on TV. So, but yeah, I'd say that one. Just put it like that.
Fairs. Of it, like, I'd imagine going viral as well. Like, I mean, I get enough of it being the ginger guy in the wheelchair, but like, I imagine the hate and the trolls got a lot more intense. How did you manage that?
Depends. Some days I'm just like, most of the time I make content with it. I just respond to them with like a song, and I'm like, anyways. I'm like, you're a prick. And when he's or sometimes I just like, what I like doing is like, if the haters, because I did have to actually, one of my separate videos got put on like something called UK Caribbean Communities Instagram, so it's like a shade room kind of type thing, and obviously they asked for my permission, and I had to like basically cuss out every person in the comments. I had to do one giant scathing thing, and obviously people think I'm angry, but this is just like, I go in, like, if you listen to my music, I'll go in for fun, so I wasn't even stressed. I was just like, I remember just getting on to people. I was just like, see the thing about you lot, just addressing like UK Caribbeans and like some of the black men in there, being like, I don't know why you lot have a problem with what I'm doing. I said, there's white people like M.R. that are just cosplaying our language, to be honest, and then going viral with our sound, and then becoming like the most streamed dancehall song in a while, and it was not someone who was even from there. And you're fine with that, and you'll rise him up. You'll let him talk to other Caribbean women like they don't know what they're doing. And black men will be like, yeah, my don. And I'm just like, okay, you can do all of that. You lot don't own your own homes. You don't own your own land. A lot of you don't have the money to bury your mothers or grandmothers if they were to drop down tomorrow, but you want to chat about me. I think you need to think about the priorities in life, kind of thing. I said that one time, I just muted it. And that was there on Instagram. With TikTok, you'll usually see me just jumping in. Like, I've got people that, like, I've got fans and just supporters and just people that are just calm, jumping in, fighting for me, so I don't have to fight everyone now. It's tiring. But you will see me tell someone the most nastiest thing I could possibly tell them without getting banned from TikTok. Just put it like that. You'll see it a lot.
That's the game.
Yeah, it does get a lot sometimes.
What about what about managing your mental though? In terms of like, obviously, there's only so much one person can take of that sort of shit before it starts messing with you. How do you manage it in your head when you might not be firing on all cylinders and up for it? How do you manage that?
I go therapy twice a week. What's the word? Yeah, literally I go therapy twice a week. Without that, I just kind of spiral a bit, because just obviously mental health is real. There's stuff like that. Like, there's a lot of trauma that goes into even making the music, to even make the music I make, let alone, and that's in the past, let alone dealing with constant stuff every day, like dealing with intersectionality, just constant racism, just abuse, just homophobia, all of that all the time. Yeah, honestly, I was drinking. I was initially just drinking and smoking to just be like, push that away. Now I'm trying to drink less, but we're still smoking. However, I was smoking anyway, so next. More time. Individual helps. I do MBT.
Fairs. How long if you don't mind me asking, how long have you been doing therapy?
Few months. Yeah, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was fairly new.
I got Fairs. Really long NHS waiting list, like, so I don't even know how I made it, if I'm honest.
Fairs. And have you found it helps?
Better than nothing. No, not even better. No, it's definitely helps. It definitely helps, because there's no. You know why it helps? Because I just feel like, as a black, taking away me being an artist, like, I just feel like as a person of color, there's so much generational trauma that we just have to deal with Like, me and my family, just black people as a whole, people of color. Just, you know what I mean? There's so much generational trauma, so it was needed anyway. But definitely, since becoming Reptile B, I've had to learn to also not get lost in like the source and become a whole full blown narcissist from it, because you kind of need to be a bit narcissistic in the creative world to just get through. Otherwise, people are going to take your spot. People are going to step on you and just like erase stuff, like literally erase you. Like, there's people that have tried to erase me and like literally come out and have people do write-ups and say that they do this and do that, but that's what I do, and they're like, I'm the only one that does it. No, it's not true. Stuff like that. So it definitely helps, because I think I would have started getting violent. you'd have seen me like getting arrested just for like violence at one point, just lashing out. So yeah, I highly recommend everyone. Just recommend everyone does therapy anyway, except the abusers. They don't deserve therapy. Need to rot.
100%. I'm a big believer of therapy, even though not in it myself, but a lot of my friends and my partner is in it. So like, yeah, big believer. Where did you've obviously said that like a lot of the trauma and stuff is fed through to your music. Where does your love of music actually come from?
Oh, man. Since all I can remember, like, I'd be waking up to my mum just playing different like reggae mixes in the yard and stuff like that. My first couple CDs were like Spice Girls and Miss Dynamite, funnily enough. Love Miss Dynamite.
Nice.
Bangers. But my aunt, like my late aunt, Debbie, my aunt, she basically, I used to game in her room when I used to visit my nan, and then she had racks of CDs. So I was just like, and obviously there weren't no Spotify, nothing back then. Like, you couldn't just be like, I'm going to stream your song. Like, you needed like £8 to 14 quid to buy an album. You wouldn't be sure if you're going to like it. You're putting the CD in, skip. Don't even like, do you know what I mean? So luckily, she already done some of that for me. So she had racks of CDs, and I was just like, Little Kim, I'll take that. Foxy Brown, I'll take that. Missy Elliott, TLC. Do you know what I mean? Like, I got a good solid foundation of what was hot, like in rap and stuff like that from then. Then I found Channel U. Just turned over the channel one day, just Channel U, and had all the UK grime and stuff like that. And that's obviously sort of like what you see Kano and like DEE and just like bare sick rappers. You've got like, I absorbed that. I just kept absorbing things as I go. I think that's the best way to say it. Yeah, there's always been a lot. Always.
You pretty much answered my next question, but like obviously listening to some of listening to some of your stuff, you bounce around genres quite a bit, and it's really nice to see, because I feel like artists sometimes can get very pigeonholed into what they do, and then you kind of want to see them do something different. So where does like your your ability to like mix it up and sort of blend those genres, where does that come from? I'm guessing it comes from because you've listened to so many different types of music. You've just, like you say, you've absorbed it and just taken it and spun it around.
Yeah, pretty much. And like I said, I had that piano background and stuff before. So I got to like grade 5 piano when I was in school. So that's like the piano and just that musical foundation. So I just started clocking what sounded the same across, what was the same rules across the board and what could be bent. And then you just do it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I've got like-minded friends that I work with, like, that make the tunes for me and stuff like that. And then we're just all crazy. Like, we used to like one of them, like one of my main like fucking guys that I record with, like, got Mr. Char as well. Shout out Mr. Char. Like, he I met him when we were cosplaying. Like, I was mostly cosplaying. I didn't see him cosplay too tough. I digress. I met him when we were cosplaying back in the day, because we used to cosplay anime characters. I was in a whole goth crew with a bunch of girls and stuff like that. So we've seen all of that. I'll just tell him, yo, wouldn't it be cool if this sounded... What if we done this and put it on that? Man would just be like... Do you know what I mean? It's good to work with like-minded people. It slows down the process. But yeah, like I said, absorb things, the background. Yeah, you get it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's fair. Do you have like... Obviously, you mix it up, but I'm guessing like rap and grime is your go-to, your bread and butter, your favourite. Is that where you lean to when you listen to shit on your own, or is it kind of like, fuck, that's like work, and I'm going to keep that separate?
Oh no! I listen to a bit. I listen to so many different types of things. I've got like public playlists that I make sometimes and just share, just so people can see the actual, just see what I like, and also just so you can just get some new shit to listen to. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, no, I love listening to grime, but more time I won't be listening to like. There's so many man in grime. I don't listen to everyone. I'm not just like, right, we're only listening to grime today. I'll take like flipping my favorite artists or whatever from way back, and then I have them in a playlist next to like flipping female rappers I listen to. You know what I mean? So yeah, I just listen to different things, except like well, I don't listen to opera unless you count one Azealia Banks song, but that doesn't count. So anyway, but yeah. So,
to be honest. The hilarious thing is, music-wise, we are so fucking similar. Literally, the only thing I always say is like, I can fuck with everything else. Opera, it's just not a genre that I've tapped into. Like, it's not so like if it's on in the background, it's all good. Like, I'm not gonna be like, ugh, hate this. But like, just the idea of being like, yeah, let me load up Spotify and put some opera on. It's what? No,
nah, can't even study to that. Do you know what I mean? Like, because obviously there's the whole thing when I was doing professional dance as well. Do you know what I mean? When I was training in that, doing hip hop for years before I started like taking rap seriously, I interned at the dance studio, and we got paid in free class, no food. But anyways, free class. So I was there for like morning to night every single day trying to train, and then I'm hearing different songs and being forced to learn. I couldn't be like, teacher, can we do some like So Solid today? Like, no, I just had to go and dance to whatever they played, and then obviously it opens up the spectrum a bit more for what you can listen to. So I'm grateful for that.
Yeah. I suppose as well that then influences your like your creative process of like, oh, I'm going to bring this bit of it that I like. You might not like it all, but like bringing that element to your music as well.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah, must be The other thing I wanted to ask, like being like obviously being very fully involved in TikTok now, there's a lot of pressure to like constantly be releasing, constantly creating. And while that's great, like how do you manage that? Because like, do you ever worry that your creative is going to run out?
Do I ever? I don't worry about that. No, honestly, in terms of just no. No, generally, like,
I'm too good.
Like, yeah, no, I've had writer's block. Definitely had writer's block. Definitely, there's always been stuff. That's when stuff like that happens. It's like, okay, clearly I need to slow down because my body is really, it's clearly trying to tell me something. Like I need to like this. I can get lost in just constantly doing content creation, and then being like, oh shit, like I've not even listened to music today other than hearing the same video loop over and over again as I'm putting in captions and stuff like that. But like. Man, it's hard balancing to but yeah, don't worry. I'll never run out of the creativity in there. I say that with chest. There's a lot going on.
I respect that. I mean, not as a music creator, but as a creator myself, I do sit there and go, "Fuck me! Where am I going to pull my next idea from? Where am I going to pull this rabbit out of the hat?"
Yeah. No, I will say though, like there's stuff like. Obviously, my most viral songs, like obviously THG and stuff, and how it's me and the two boys dancing and stuff like that. And then there are times when sometimes I think to myself, I feel like some of y'all think that we're some kind of. I think I made a caption once just to draw people in and say it, but like we're some kind of Pussycat Dolls act or some kind of thing like that. So some people are like, oh yeah, I can't wait to see you lot, and I'm like, it was once. Like I've had like another video dancing and another one background, but I'm like, it was really just once in it. So sometimes I do think in terms of replicating that. Well, I'll find a way. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, that's a question that spins around sometimes. Like, I might have to call them and be like, "Yo, can we do one more video or something like that?" Which later on, money.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. Good.
No, I hear you. Did you have the videos that went viral? Did you have like because a lot of the time when shit like that happens, you have no idea it's going to come, and then all of a sudden, boof, and it's gone. Did you have a suspicion that it could go viral, or was it like you say? I know you said it earlier of like constantly refreshing, but did you sit there and go, do you know what? It might not, but I have a feeling it might. So we'll see.
The first time, because the fun fact is the song went viral twice. I've just made it go viral again because I was just like the first time it went viral, I only got like 500,000 before. Now and plus, so this is the new one. The one that you found me on is when I made it go viral again, basically, and got more than I did last time. So that's brilliant. But the first time it went viral was just like I remember Did I think? Okay, the first time I was just throwing stuff. I was just like, because I didn't know what viral was to me. I didn't think I'd ever get that. I just like, you know what Instagram algorithms like you see these people with 50,000, and I'm like, how are you getting these views? Like, I mean, stuff like that. Like, I don't understand it. So obviously, people just pushing me and saying, yeah, TikTok, you can really get. Just like, I think it's only because when I got like 7,000 once, I said, okay, this can maybe work. So I was just kind of hyper focused, throwing stuff. First time I just throwing, and it just stuck. The shit stuck. That was what I say about the first time. The second one with the 1.1, I knew. No, I'm just like, if it could go viral before, it can again, innit? Like someone was on Threads and talking about how about you repost the content that you've done already. I was like, why would I repost that? It's already had its time. Like, and it said something like, people don't even remember what they had for breakfast, let alone that you posted that before. So I was just like. It went straight away. I posted it a few times, but I knew. I just knew. And when it got there, I was like, "Yep, thanks."
I mean, I'm circling back a bit, but I just thought obviously you said like you bumped into Katie B and Katie B came up to you. Is there an artist that you're like, fuck, I really want to work with you? How do I make that happen? Is there one that comes to mind?
Katie B.
Katie B.
Katie B. And the thing is, I could just shout her and ask, but I've got other things to do. Obviously, I've got that whole list of collaborations. I want to make sure I've got the trip time. But I would say her for me. Do you know what I mean? Like, because I don't want to be like, let's work. And then she's busy or whatever. And then I'm there being late for sessions because I'm stressed from the others. No. So, there's Katie B and who else? Yeah, rap people. I say her, though. We could do a nice little garage thing.
Fairs. To be fair, I can see that working. Like, I feel like I was talking about this the other day. I feel like garage is making a comeback.
Yeah, no, UK garage. Like, I think I got a project called Summer 21. So I dropped that a couple years back, stuff like that. I think every summer there's 1-2 artists that like throw out some UK garage and it always goes off. Like, that's something that's never going to die. It's very well respected.
100%. Yeah. Actually, talking of new projects, you've got a new album coming out shortly that you released the pre-release today. What can people expect from the album when it drops? Yeah, basically the album is just going to be it's the concept of 7 deadly sins. Like, obviously we all suffer with, we all have that. We all know what that is. It's a pretty relatable kind of thing. I'm just going to be taking everyone through a journey on my take on the human experience when you're somebody dealing with intersectionality, someone's literally black, gay, neurodivergent, and raps openly about these type of subjects, just literally counterculture things, and just even the conversation we're having just about the mental health and stuff like that. We're going to be really delving into just that kind of thing. So obviously the journey is going to be full of bangers, hard hitting dance things, but then we're also going to get very candid, very real. Tell us a bit about the prequel that dropped today.
So just called 7DS Rhythm. I remember on the day I was just until I put the one on SoundCloud, I was just I can't bother with what I'm going to call it. I'll just rush it. I'll just just call it the name of the song, come back later. But basically it's got the main single from the album on there. So the first single is going to be 7 Deadly Sins Rhythm. So that's about that's just me flexing, basically talking about road life, just London life or whatever, but with Full Metal Alchemist imagery, and I just anime and stuff like that. So, because obviously when I talk 7 Deadly Sins, I also specifically mean I'm relating it to, do you watch anime? Do you know about anime?
I don't. A load of my friends do, so I know bits, but not.
Cool. I call myself the rap game homunculus. I've got the tattoo here, right? So this tattoo is from it was actually the homunculus symbol, the Ouroboros tat from an anime called Full Metal Alchemist, where the villains in there were basically representations of the 7 deadly sins. All got super cool powers, cool fashion, all of that. So basically, what dropped today is I'll be showing 7 Deadly Sins, the main singles, dancey drill, just me flexing and stuff like that. It's super sick, actually. I've just held that song for a couple of years. it's basically meant to represent, like, after going through all the things that happened in the album, now I'm just here as Reptile B, like, don't even care, rose-colored glasses, let's do our thing, let's push. That's basically what it's meant to represent, but it's not there in the lyrics, that's just me saying, kind of thing. Then we've got Dysfunction. So, I've missed it. Seven Deadly Sins was produced by Mr. Cha. Right, Right, so we've got Dysfunction now, track 2. So that, I like to call it like this ADHD rhythm, because literally about my, just getting into like my emotional dysregulation a little bit, like, it was like really funny content in there. Funny content in there. But yeah, it's just like an old school grime vibe. Very old school grime vibe. That's produced by Castle. So you get that old school grime vibe from me that I love to jump on, and then you just get my erratic, I would want to say insight into my thoughts, but like I might have to do one of them genius type, let me tell you what I'm talking about type things of that one there. But like the core is a fun song kind of thing. The third one's a SoundCloud exclusive, because I'm not paying for the rights. But I done Scissor Kill Bill. I made my version.
Fez.
But not like, you know them artists that were doing all this sample drill and it was shit. This ain't shit.
Yep.
Put it that way. Like, you know this song, I'm I'm talking about I might ching mine, but that one's SoundCloud exclusive. Again, I'm not paying for those rights, can't afford it. Those 3 songs there just kind of get you a bit amped up for what's going to come.
Yeah, I'm excited. Bro, I'm well excited. I'm looking forward to seeing where it goes as well. Like, as I say, I found you, and as a bit of a rap grime head myself, although like stereotypically looking at me, you wouldn't think so. Ginger hair, it's not really my thing. But
that's our point. Yeah,
I hear you. Like, that's the thing. Like, I'm just really excited to see where it goes. Like, I love your stuff. I must admit, bro, the speed, I don't know how you fucking do it. Like, I mean, I say that. My breathing and speech isn't great anyway, but then you add, bro, like, how do you, just the pure speed. Like, I know I'm waffling, but, mate,
what you mean,
it's crazy.
Like,
it's crazy.
Rapping and stuff like that.
Yeah, I just, lyrically, like, I can't.
Yeah. I mean, I'm Jamaican, innit?
I can't say shit. Yeah.
I mean, the thing is, like, obviously, I'm used to being in barbershops where the man are talking, even now, they're talking fast. I'm like, I can't catch up to that. Do you know what I mean? So, I mean, but I'm just used to it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, stuff like, you got the sign of my food back in the day where she's hit him with a rhythm, get him with a drum, hit him with a, you know what I mean? Like, all these grime MCs that spit super quick. I love that shit.
I just can't, like, oh man. Coming back to a bit more of a like serious topic, like obviously when you've been performing and stuff, you talked a lot about intersectionality, being openly gay, and it being quite a homophobic scene. What's your journey with that been like? Like, have you started trying? I know obviously you do it naturally through being open about it, but have you started going through like advocacy for it, or are you just battling what you have to battle and doing it that way?
No, I get what you mean. We're gonna say as and when. We're gonna just kind of say as and when it comes up for now. Like, I'm very much disorganized of like all the things that I'm doing. Like, 'cause I'm not just Reptile B. I'm also like social media manager and video editor and admin person for like obviously family business and other I'm paid by other artists to do the social media. So there's just not enough time in the day for me to put like another thing to be like, right, and we're gonna, which I should be, but at the same time, I'm very unhinged. So sometimes it's a bit like, I will say the wrong thing at some point. So I think I'm fighting it my way by just doing it as and when, and in the music, and just being the one that's more like the counterculture, like person for the voiceless to listen to right now. Because I'm that type of person. I can imagine leading a march or something, young Marsha P thing, and being like, you know what, we should just leg them. It's like fucking start some next riot. I'm that type. I'll actually start a purge. I think this far ahead. I might be like, oh shit, what have I done? And people just like, because I've met some of my fans, they unhinged. So for now, I'm still learning how to have these deep topic conversations without cussing.
Yeah.
Because, you know what I mean? So I would start cussing someone, be like, yeah, well, your mother, do you know what I mean? I'd be like, that's why your father's breeding with the race. You know what I mean? Like, it's just counterproductive. So the latter. But once I get my things a bit sorted out, articulate, because I can articulate things well, like obviously English writer, do you know what I mean? Stuff, but I am also, again, unhinged. Sometimes someone has to be like, shh, I'll handle this. And I'm like, sorry, like, more the attack dog, put it like that.
I hear you. On that topic, like, obviously saying the wrong thing, because it's like I tackle a lot doing stuff in the disability space, and there's a lot of conversations about using the right terminology and like saying the right thing. What's your opinion on people saying the wrong thing? Because I'm very much a believer of like, look, people are going to say weird ass shit. And like, you can either attack them for it or help them learn why it's weird ass shit. So that's my belief system. But like, obviously, you come up against people interpreting you in the wrong way or saying the wrong thing to you. How do you manage that? As you've already said, you're slightly unhinged and your approach can come across as a little bit chaotic, if I'm not sure that's the right word, but you know what I mean? Like, so how do you, what's your opinion on it?
Therapy is only recent, so when I said I go therapy, that's only recent. So what was it that, how do I, sorry, again, is it how do I respond? Sorry, just say that last. That's right. It's like, how do you respond to people saying the wrong thing? Obviously, you've said like you're worried about someone saying the wrong thing to you and cussing them out. But how do you manage that now, obviously, when you just have to deal with it day to day? Because as I say, my approach is very much like, look, I can either tell you a new one or help you learn. That is my two choices. If I tell you a new one, my fear is always the same. So like if you play it in the disabled context, I always worry. If I tell you a new one, that is the brush that you see every other disabled person with. So that is the responsibility I have in my head of going, look, if I call you every name under the sun, you're going to think every guy in a wheelchair is a fucking dickhead. Not true, but that's the interpretation you have. So that's always a fear that I have. Obviously, you've already said your approach is a little bit different. So I wanted to get your 2 cents on how you approach the situation with people. Sorry. Is it when someone says something to me, or is it like if I see something said on a public scale? Because it depends.
Bit of both. Like if it's like like say for example, like someone comes up to you, makes an off the cuff comment, and you go, "Whoa, there's like some bit that's not right in that sentence," but you've not realised it. Do you go down the route of interrogating them, or do you go down the route of explanation?
Right, okay. Right, so there's different variations of this answer. If I'm on my medication, like my Elven's medication, my take ADHD medication, if I'm on that, I'm probably stop and think and just kind of be like, because it just depends on what's said to me, innit? But I've had instances where I've stopped and thought, I'm just going to do a video explaining this because I've seen with my own eyes, like, that I've seen like people, like loved ones and stuff like that as well. I've seen them be like, say the exact wrong thing that's being said to me there. So I'll be like, I'm not going to bite your head off because I've had to educate family members on the same type of thing. So that's fine. So I've done that. But then there's also times where I've just been like, no, fuck off, I'm ripping your head off. I don't really care if you think like, the rest like of me and like other black gays or whatever are like this as well. Because quite frankly, there'll be people where they're saying, it'll just when people are asking me sarcastic homophobic shit, or when they're just like, why do you make it your personality? It's like, why do you make this concept your personality? You don't want to be educated, you're a prick. No, one second. That's it. You don't want to be educated, you're a prick. So in that one there, I probably ripped their head off and stuff like that. So it depends. There's been an instance where somebody's done like someone done a thing, like not to me, but someone had a whole talk and done a whole viral talk, like just saying stuff about the gay community that was very damaging. I don't want to say the boy's name because he wishes, but like, but like, he said something very, very damaging. And the platform that he had or has, whatever, I thought it was just wrong. So I lost my temper, but I didn't. I just kept it. I kept it to myself. Now I kind of go to ask someone else to vent and quiet it down, or just write down. Right, but I did keep it to myself. But then I ended up just kind of being a bit bitchy when other people jumped in. So I jumped in a group conversation and I was a bit bitchy instead of just addressing that. And then I had to fully rip the person's head off when they chose me out of that. To be like, oh, why do you? I was like, who are you talking to? I'm the only. And then I made a whole song on it. So basically, it's just like, long story short, it depends. It really depends. But I'm fair. I can educate, but I can also make you look at what you say.
Fed. I think it's really hard. Like, I make myself sound like it's always perfect. Like I've always had that approach. But don't get me wrong. Like if you catch me on the wrong day, not the one. But then also, I think it's so hard for anyone that's in a marginalized group to constantly have to manage that and almost present as like an educator. It is really tricky. Like weirdly, when it comes to disability, I weirdly enjoy it.
Google's free as well. So I mean, sometimes Google's are free.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I think it's all down to the type of person as well. Like, and it's so hard to put that responsibility on everyone.
No, trust. But also, like I said, it's when you said like the whole something you said there, just the educator part. That one there, I'm not feeling it. Obviously, I can educate people, but like I said, when certain people, but you know yourself, some people are asking because they generally want to know. It's how they frame the question, and others are just being patronising. So, like
100%. I think you can tell so much from the way someone asks a question. Like you can tell whether there's venom behind it or not. Like I don't understand it when someone laughs in the most calm manner they could have, and you're fucking launching an attack, and you're like, bro, they were just asking you a question. Whereas other times people just come out with something you think, bro, that's unhinged. Like that is seriously unhinged.
Yeah. No, but it's funny you say that because I've had that. I've had people actually just ask questions, but I've had like there's times when I've had to cuss out 5 homophobes, and then the 6th comment was just a question, and I'm like, yeah, well, fuck you as well. And they're like, I was asking a question, and I'm like, well,
sorry,
that's embarrassing. I mean, I'm just there looking at my phone like,
yeah,
I'm not perfect.
Fez,
I never said I was perfect.
Fez, do you think it's got any? Do you think over the years it's got any better for the gay community, the LGBTQ plus community? Do you think it is getting better?
Yes and no. We've still got Rishi Sunak saying all this bullshit. We've got you've got how the government always find the new fucking group in the community to pick on. It just kind of jumps around. Yeah. Like before, like obviously, I don't feel like before. Like I don't remember when, but before just like heavily on the gays. Right now, as we can see, it's heavily on the trans community. So that's just the thing that's going to. Yeah. But I think slowly, things are definitely getting better. I think slowly, like obviously, there's more people, like there's more queer people, like rising up to things and just like in the public eye and stuff like that. But I don't think in this lifetime that we live, things are going to be like, whoa, we're all like. I mean, I don't think so. I think like, but I can only say things are slowly getting better. I think having the internet helps, and just the generations of people that are trying to keep like hate on the queer, like LGBTQ community. They're breeding new incel spawn children, but there's more people being born that have like a brain and want to just go online and be like, and actually learn, check their privileges and shit. So I'm hopeful for the far future, but right now I can walk around in crop top sometimes and not get like beat up.
I hear you. I think it's the same for the you're part of the disabled community being neurodivergent, but same for the disabled community. I don't think we'll get there in my lifetime or your lifetime, but like we're getting there. We're moving, and that's the main thing. As long as we're moving forward. But like, have you seen a rise in the music industry, particularly like in your music industry? Have you seen a rise of people being more openly gay and being more openly their authentic selves, whatever that might be? No, Fez.
No, no. I think that's one of my whole USPs at the moment. When I go viral, it's like, oh my god, we need more of them. Do you know what I mean? So I think no, because it's from when I know, like. I will never snitch on these people because I'm not stupid, but like it's from when I know DL artists, and I'm just looking at them like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? I know artists that like have certain owners, and then that's not who they are. Do you know what I mean? So I mean, because if I'm honest, when I see like girls come out of it, if anyone say, "Oh yeah, Ice Spice is like queer" or something like that, I'm just a bit like, cool, good. Keep doing you.
Yeah.
However, obviously, we also know that a girl coming out as queer and being more herself in the industry doesn't like. Don't mean they're just like men might just be like, oh, we love that shit. Do you know what I mean? They're like, threesomes because we're dirty bastards. But was like the men, they're still pretty afraid.
Do you think that's a generation thing? Like, do you think it's because it's so drilled into them to be worried about it?
100%. Yeah, of course. It's a generational trauma. As I said, it's black, like especially with black people, like my people, they all need to go therapy. Every single one. Do you know what I mean? You got like family members and stuff like that have undiagnosed disorders and stuff like that. But obviously, they just learned to mask. No, they didn't learn to mask it. They just learned to make that a thing that's just who I am. And it's like, no, it's not really healthy. Stuff like that. And obviously, they pass stuff to the kids. Like, I think the millennials, I'd say, are like the first generation to be like, oh shit. Like this is because now the person have access to the mental health support. Like, oh shit, we got a lot of fucked up stuff that we got to deal with, and it all roots all the way back to slavery. So, do you know what I mean? We're still paying for slavery. So, quite frankly, that's why definitely generational. There's so many things that go into it.
Sorry if it's too personal, but like, what was your journey coming out like?
I just did it. No, I'm not even mocking people. I just because I think that was more the impulse and the ADHD because I wasn't diagnosed until lockdown. I've been diagnosed a year or two. Do you know what I mean? Like, so back then, I remember I was just like, I remember I went like this. I realized I still didn't like girls. Like, I got to like 15, and I was just like, y'all still got cooties. No, I mean, and I'm looking around and I'm seeing people in relationships and I'm like, something's off because I'm not interested. So I'm just like the girl. Yeah. I remember like one girl must have kissed me on the cheek when I was younger, and I was just like, "What? Why are you doing that?" I was just like, "Nah." Like, so I mean, I was knocked down. And I was like, something's wrong because there was like something wrong because I'm not interested. And it's like, oh no, it's good, you're focusing on your work. And I'm like, no, but at the same time, like, why am I not interested? But I'm noticing that I would look at boys and be like, oh yeah, he's cute. But anyway, I'm waiting for, and I just used to push that aside. And then after, I was like, oh shit, like, I like boys. I was like, fuck that. I was like, absolutely not. That's the last thing I need. Obviously, we all have the Bible. We grew up with the Bible, stuff like that. There's them Bible scriptures and stuff. I said, fuck that. Life's my life's already going to be on hard mode. It's going to be on super difficult mode. No, thank you. I actually wanted the easy life growing up. I realized I couldn't have the easy life. So I remember went to the church. Yeah. And I was like, got them to, you know what I mean, do their shit. That put like pray out. Then I realized they couldn't pray it out. So I was like, oh, I see. So this is just who I am then. Okay. I was just like, Mom, like, guess what? Like,
that's mad. So you actually openly seeked trying to get the church to get rid of it? Because normally that's a parent thing.
I'd done that before I even told them. Yeah, because I just thought that history, we just know how it is. Like, we just know how gay people are treated.
Yeah.
How the trans people are treated now is how the gay people were treated around that time. It was just like, people were just so openly homophobic all the time. And it's just, and I already got bullied a bit at school. So that's the last thing I needed. I didn't want to get bullied for the rest of my life. Do you know what I mean? So I just said, fuck that. So I ran to the church and they couldn't sort it. So I was like, oh, it's not a thing to be sorted. And I just learned there with it. And I just remember being like, well, I am not going to go nothing like that from this. So I guess I'm going to just have to be myself. That's just literally, my brain was just like, well, get on with it, innit? So then I remember I started talking to someone. And then because I started talking to someone and I thought we were going to actually date. Really, we're just talking. But then I got excited, ADHD again. And I was like, right, so we're going to get married. I need to tell my mum. I was like, Mum! I was like, we're getting married. I could see the kid. I could see, do you know what I mean, the wedding outfit. I'd literally done all of that just from 2 weeks of talking to somebody. And then obviously I told my mum. See? Yep. So I told my mum, and then obviously after I told her, after that I told my friends. My friends were like, we knew. And then I kind of just told every big song and dance. There weren't many people around me as it is that I was close to. So coming out didn't take very long. It was just more like for a couple of years, I just like being myself and just doing what I was doing. And then people would just be like, would ask, or I might just throw it in conversation and be like, I've not seen you have a girlfriend. Oh, you'd be like, yeah, that's because I'm gay. So I mean, I started doing that kind of approach, just being like, yeah, I'm gay. So what do you want for dinner? Do you know what I mean? Stuff like that. There was only one family member that had a problem. I'm actually quite lucky. Yeah, I'm actually quite lucky. Only one family member had a
I was going to ask how your mum reacted.
Shock. She didn't see it coming. I don't know why, but no, she was just shocked, innit? But also, she was a bit afraid because the truth of the matter is, the reason I went to the church in the first place is like, your life's about to get very hard. Like, you guys are a black man, and you're gay. They weren't even diagnosed as ADHD yet, so it's just like you're going to be treated. We've already got racism to deal with. You've already got the fact that you're going to walk into job interviews and they're going to look you up and down and say the job's position's closed. We're going to have to fight that. Now you're going to have to fight the homophobia from your own community and just other communities. She there's gay bashing. Do you know what I mean? Like, she was shook, and I was like, it's going to be all fine. That's because I had to say that. You have to say that, so. You know what I mean?
Fair. Yeah, no, that's right. What about, like, how is she, like, obviously she's accepted you for who you are. What's her view on it now? Like, obviously she went in very shocked and very, like, worried for you. What's her view on it now?
No, she's an ally. She's an ally. She's very open-minded, very respectful, very fun. Like, obviously, my queer friends love her so much. Like, and obviously with the whole non-binary thing as well. Like, with that side, when she had to learn about that more time, she took a while to learn about pronouns, having to reconstruct that part. But yeah, no, she's good. She's good people. I'm very, very lucky in that sense.
I love that.
Like, I always put my hands up. I'm so lucky in that sense, and I feel like I've been treated. It's crazy because I've had so much support there, I feel like it kind of showed in my attitude or just my, like, the way how I got a bounce in my step when I started going to, like, gay spaces. They're the ones that gave me more problem, if I'm honest.
I hear that. Because I think when you've got the backing of family members, it's kind of like, it is what it is, and you just get on with it. Where I'd imagine, I mean, from a disability context, I never had that issue. My family have all been supportive of it. But, like, I'd imagine if you haven't got that support wherever your difference is, fuck me. Like, I think, like, my best friend's from Nigerian background, and, like, some of the shit he tells me, I'm like, bro, what? Hang on, what? And it just opens your eyes. Like, we've been friends for years, but it opens your eyes to so much shit. You're like, bro, that shit's wild that stuff still happens. Like, people are fucking weird.
I fear for people. I do fear for people. Like I said, I'm very grateful, like, that I don't have that specific issue. But I feel like if you don't have one issue, you end up with a new one. Do you know what I mean? So I just have I'll have, like, black gay people project the stuff that's said to them to me. kind of thing. Because obviously when you are able to just give in the free reign to be yourself, and you don't need to mask how you are like that in the house because of like your sexuality, like I said, you don't end up doing what others do, which is like they'll be like, oh shit, like I need to follow the trends. What's it mean to be a black man who is gay? Oh, okay, I'm a man, so I have to be masked top. I've got to be this. I've got to go gym. I've got to take these pictures, be this type of image, or I've got to be that type of twink. Or it's just like, right, I've got to only like Nicki Minaj. I've got to do my acrylics and stuff like that, because it's hiding in that. And I just feel sorry for like a lot of people, because like they these types of people will look at me and say them as vile shit to me that I've heard, that I know is what their mum/aunt has said to them, because they don't know how. I've had like gay people say to me like, I didn't like you when I first met you because I didn't like that you could just walk into this room, no one knows who you are, and you could just walk in and just start in the middle of a room and just do exactly what you want and be happy. I didn't like it, and I'm just there like, it's nice. So
yeah. It, like, even that, like, I mean, the level of confidence is wild. Like, your level of confidence is crazy. But like,
thank you.
I think let people be who they want to be, and like, I've always believed that. I'm like, same thing whenever I talk about race, it's like I always believe the same thing. Don't matter whether you're black, purple, pink, blue, whatever it might be. If you're a dick, you're a dick, and that's the end of the story. Like, if you're a good person, you're a good person. That's it.
Yeah.
That's the end of the conversation.
Period. Yeah,
it's
exactly.
It's crazy. And what's your, like, because we haven't actually touched on the race thing. What's your journey with that? Obviously, because of the intersectionality and being openly gay, it adds an extra layer. But just in general, what's your experience with racism been? Because I think a lot of people from the outside looking in, as I've already touched on, think that it's all gone away, and I'm like, bro, some of that shit is not all gone away. I think the word is like, they still think that the like crazy stuff, like the crazy stuff every day doesn't happen, and then you actually talk to the community, and it's like, fucking hell, that shit happens daily.
Yeah. I mean, well, my experience there, I'd say, what's it? So obviously, in terms of, well, I'm going to kind of bring like color. I think I'm going to bring like, not color, is it? I'll just kind of merge the two things. Obviously, in school, I was kind of taught to be like, so I'm going like my mum, like my family members, was just kind of telling me that I need to kind of present a certain way, just make sure I'm always keeping my head down, presenting a certain way, and I never know why they're saying that. I had to speak in a very prim and proper, like book smart way, to always have that code switch, and they're teaching me how to code switch, basically. So like I said, but they've done it very subtly, like giving me I was reading books all the time and just speaking very proper. The black kids were saying I was a coconut. They were saying I was listening to like Evanescence and Paramore, and they were like, hey, what, bro, you're not listening to Lil Wayne? Nah, you ain't black. And it's like, what, you're not listening to the just like only gigs and just all this music? You ain't black. And I'm like, well, I think I am. Yeah, I mean, so just like, you're all fucking blues. So that was most I got there. But then it's like I said, it's from when I finished university and I started looking for jobs. That is when I went raw. Like, just tell me to pick cotton and get over it. Like, do you know what I mean? Because I've not like, it's like, obviously I've done IT and all that other stuff. I'm working in to do these job interviews, and then I'm noticing there's only one black person in the room, and that is they've tick 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 tick. We've got a black person now. We don't need to hire any more black people. Like, I've been struggling. Like, before I started taking music seriously, it was just off and not just constantly looking for jobs, and people were like, how come you ain't got a job yet? Like, you're doing something wrong. Let me see your CV. Your CV's perfect. I know it is. Oh, you've got experience. I know I do. It's like, you got the degree. Yes, I know. It's right there. It's all there. Sorry, unfortunately. And then I tried not to think of it as racist until, like, one of my friends, there's two occasions. One of my friends tried to help me get a job in his place. I said, let's try this nepotism thing. At least let's try that for once, because I'm going to get me a job in it. I want to do like IT and computer science. I was trying to do programming and shit. Told me why I had to do all of these interviews, but then some Karen across the road that HR lady, whatever, went to the pub with, just like, yeah, you can have the job. It's just, there you are. And then my friend's like, yeah, I'm having to do the computer stuff for her. So what was the point of that? And I'm like, well, can I have any feedback? They're like, no, you're brilliant.
Yeah.
But no. I get a lot that you're brilliant, but no. You're so good for the job. You've got no feedback, but no. Stuff like that. And then I've even got friends that even now that piss me off a bit when they kind of said people that are like lazy about. They're like, why don't you just get a job in that? Look, it's easy. All I've got to do, why don't you just code? Why don't you just do that? Like, all I had to do was go to this job interview that I didn't even want, and I just, with Larry or whatever, we watched football together, and then I got the job. Look, it's easy. I'm like, no, you're white. So that's more what I've definitely been with, more so me personally. And obviously
the eye-opening thing for me was when that too. There's so much to it. I think I always think, like, the one thing that surprised me, and it was my friend raised it to me. He was like, the other thing as well is if your name is slightly different, they automatically move it to the bottom of the pile, and I hate that that's even a thought process. It's like, what the fuck? I just don't. And you sit there and you think, everyone says like, oh, we're so modern, we know what we're doing now. Do we?
No.
Do we really? If that's something that we're doing?
No, it's just fucking. No, it just gets on my nerves. You know what I mean? It's the microaggressions. It's, you know what I mean? It's stuff like when I worked a job, like I worked in a pub for a bit when I was just like in between jobs, between like doing gigs, and just been like, yeah, I'll work here for a bit until I've got my next set of gigs. And then like some really fucked up shit was happening in this pub, and then it's stuff like I was very good. I was always like, I was there. I worked every single day. I was like life and soul. Like, obviously customers love me, shit like that. Like, I've just done the job well. And it just stuff like where people, like, I had like somebody come in, like this white guy come and he worked there for a bit, and then he worked there for like a week, and then he must have been DL, so he attempted to we went have some after party. He attempted to do things he shouldn't. I didn't say anything. I said, no, we're not going to even, I'm going to let that go. Let's put it that way. And then obviously the guy was just like, oh, actually, I done those things now. And then my work was just like, we believe you. Yeah, we believe you. I was like, what? You know me for like a year. I've done everything for you lot, and then I'm the victim of this thing. The boy just ran off scared because he didn't want me to go out and say that he's gay. And then you lot didn't even like him. But when it comes down to it, it was just so easy to believe the white guy. Like Emmett Till was it when he got lynched and stuff way back. It's actually very scary. Like, it's very scary the things that white people can say and the way how people will turn, and just really their true colours will come out when necessary. Just like that. So racism has not gone away at all. And people need to check their privilege, open their eyes a bit more. I notice, like, even like the people that in like looking for jobs or whatever. Like even in therapy, I'm in therapy now, and then we're all like different cultures and stuff like that, and we're all saying the same types of shit. Like, obviously, I'm the one that's black, but they're all talking about like just the treatment they get, the discrimination they get. This is very
No, I hear you. I think as well, it's hard to navigate as well. And like, I always think like people just need to be more open-minded. And I know that's a very like blasé thing to say, but just go into something willing to learn. Like, okay, you don't know about this community, fucking learn something.
Google's free. They even got Bing AI. It can search things better. Like the Bing search. Even if you think Google's a bit shit, even Bing search like that.
But even that, just like, I think like we said earlier, like if you approach conversations in the right way, you can learn directly from people. I openly be like, fucking hell, I'm an idiot. Like, just, I know this sounds stupid, but can you explain this to me? Most people are like, yeah, because most people don't have the level of intelligence to open that conversation. It's like, it's crazy. It's crazy that we still have it.
No, because there's a lot of people that have a sense of self based on this type of shit. So some people don't want their identity that they created broken by you telling them stuff like, actually, gay people don't choose to be gay. Someone might just go, psh, but all my life, do you know what I mean? They don't want us to have the mental breakdowns, but it's not my problem.
But even then, like, the whole thing of, like, breaking your personality, no, like, I always think, like, the whole thing is growth. Like, you personally change, people change over time. So you learn something new, and that might change the way you process things, but that's a good thing.
Yeah.
It's mad. We've talked about a lot of, like, quite, like, heavy topics and quite difficult topics. For those listening that might want some advice if they're going through some similar stuff, what advice would you give them?
Ooh. What, like dealing with it, or what we're talking about dealing
with it, or dealing with it, approaching it. Like, if you think of. Like, we've just talked about race, we've talked about gender fluidity, we've talked about intersectionality, we've talked about a lot. Like, is there any advice you'd give to anyone that's in those communities, whether it be one or all of them? Like, is there any advice you'd give?
I always there's definitely, again, therapy, like your own research into stuff. Like, I did a lot to understand. To understand this type of shit, I really had to sit down and, like, hyper focus on, like, a bunch of books or YouTube videos, just really into how people move, because I just didn't understand, and it was just making me angrier. So I don't know, just obviously educating yourself a bit more on the things that just so that you're able to articulate yourself well in these arguments, and also to just feel better within yourself, to know that there's nothing wrong with you at all. It's just, this is the system. And just you need to just learn the system, and maybe then you'll be able to learn things to navigate around it. And like I said, there's that. Then there's therapy and a good support unit. Because I still need my friends to, like, vent to for certain things. Like, the therapy is great, but just that as well, and get passion, and get a creative passion. Some people are just like, I'm just going to go gym it away. No, you end up going home and beating up your girlfriend. So gym's good and stuff like that. But how about passion where you can, like, do you know what I mean? Because some people just like, all this trauma, all of this, I'm going to lift it away. You ain't lifting shit away. Do you know what I mean? So the people that are just like, I'm just going to go gym, cool, but do something else as well. Something that can just make your mind just, like, do you know what I mean? Just, like, escape from it a little bit. Do you know what I mean? Take that approach. Don't do what others do and just jump in the shade room and then just, start arguments with people, because that's just making you more tapped, and it's not cute.
I completely agree. I think, like, finding a circle that you can relate to as well, because it, like, you're going through it together, then is a massive help. And I think that's where like, social media gets villainized, and, like, there's some shitty people on there, but also there are some amazing pages, stuff that you can use, and, like, people, like, also I love the fact that people feel like, I can't message that person. Fucking do it. Like, most creators are like, we love that stuff, because it's that little kick in our head of, like, what we're doing is we're doing good. And I think that's the other thing as well, is lean on people within the community, whether it be friends or people that are creators in the space, or just people that you know. Just like, the better, my big thing I always go on about is communication's king. So, like, if just communicate and, like, see where it goes. That's my big thing with it. And then lastly, because I have a feeling you're going to have a few of these, I'm going to hit you with the last question, which is, what's one piece of politically correctness that you really strongly agree with or disagree with?
Political. I've got something. I'm thinking. Or just, like, an unpopular opinion I could really give. You know, poly relationships and polyamorous. Are they polyamorous? So it's called polyamorous.
Yep.
Polyamorous is it's an epidemic.
Yep.
That's my opinion. If you've got especially if you've got a polyamory epidemic. That's what I think.
That was not what I was expecting.
I got plenty of things, but that one's really on my head, just like, say it. I think it's an epidemic. Like, do you know how many people, in fact, let's get to it. Like, do you know how many people are only doing it because they're scared of being alone? Get some cats. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'll happily get some cats. I'll find someone, I'll get No, because how weird it is. I'm in rooms, and then like flipping. I'm in rooms, family. Oh, I can't say that one. I'm in certain rooms, and then someone's watching me, and then the next day, his man that I already know is coming up to me and be like, "Oh yeah, so did my man and yours fuck it?" No, that's this. No, I don't share.
No.
This is a me. I'm in therapy in it, so maybe they can change my opinion.
Yeah.
But at the moment, I'm just like, I'm not villainizing people that do it. But I just think there's an epidemic. Yeah. There's people that do it because obviously it makes them feel good, all the other stuff. But there's other people that are doing it out of control. Yeah. Like, oh, you will never want me if it's monogamous. Fuck that. Do you know what I mean? Love yourself.
Yeah. I think as well, like, it's that whole thing of like, if you're not doing it for the right reasons, because like, obviously it's not necessarily a choice, but like, if you're doing it and the setup is right, like, go for it, go off. Yeah. But like, I'm with you. I don't share. So yeah, not something I'm. Yeah. in the true Friends commentary, Joey does not share.
Joey does not share like no, so it's not because you know how many people. Oh yeah, we're poly. Just like, how about you date us? No, I can't. You're mad. You are mad. No, because I just don't get it. Like, every time I meet someone, I'm like, you need to please explain to me. And it's how the last one said to me. And some people get a bit funny about it. I'm like, why are you getting rude? Because I'm asking you to explain me, like, just the thought process behind it. Because I can't fathom like me being with someone and then he goes off and fuck 10 man and 10 gal and 10, and then some of it, and it tells me he's wearing a condom, but probably not. Then they come home and give me something. You must be mad. You must be mad. Nah, I don't trust. There's no trust enough. I don't think I've met a man that I even trust enough for that. Even so, I just want him to myself. Why have I got to share?
Fez, I hear you. Like, I hear you completely. And like you say, I'm completely up for someone explaining it to me. But like, I'm with you. Like, I can't rep my. I think it's talking for myself. Maybe it's like an insecurity thing. But yeah, fuck that. No.
Do you know what I mean? I think it's an insecurity thing. However, that's pathetic. Like, buckle up and like get like, I don't know, go take a walk. Take a painting class.
I'm more me with the insecurity thing. I think that comes from like why I would never even consider it, because I'm like, bruh, I don't. Sharing's not my thing. I'm not the over. Yeah, I'm not the over jealous type, but there's certainly a jealous part of me. Like, nope, no, thank you.
I literally have BPD. I'm not doing the polyamory. I'm not doing that. I'm just
Fez. I love that. Bro, I loved having you.
Ew.
Oh man, Fez. No, I hear you. I do hear you. I have actually loved this conversation. Like, man, we covered so much.
This is a lot. No, this is good. I like this a lot.
Thank you so much for coming on. Like, I really appreciate it. I really do. I know you're super busy. Doing everything you're doing. So, like, thank you so much for coming on. I will link everything for Reptile below if you want to check him out, if you haven't seen him, because if you haven't, where have you been? But I will link him below for you to check out. And yeah, thank you so much again.
Hey.
Thank you so much for tuning into this week's episode of the Not Quite Podcast. Please make sure you follow us on TikTok and Instagram to get regular updates about the podcast. These